After what was a pretty tough week this past week for Northwestern, dropping games to Rutgers and at Michigan, can they bounce back in the midweek game at Iowa? Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Northwestern, your daily podcast on the Northwestern Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome. This is Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Carter Bird, and thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every single day. We really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find us. And we're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Wherever you're listening, make sure you are subscribed and you turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. All right, let's jump right into this because I do think that we're going to go the Iowa preview here. Northwestern coming off a rough week, just a week after upsetting Illinois and Indiana on the road. Northwestern dropped a couple dogfights to Rutgers and Michigan. The Rutgers game was particularly heartbreaking because of the way that it finished up. You thought you had that game. You had this miraculous comeback to take the lead in the final minutes, and came up short when they got a three-point shooter open there late and hit a big shot. Came down to the final minutes, and that one hurt. That one was soul-crushing as a fan, as somebody who watches all of these games. In both games, Northwestern got down, but showed tremendous fight to kind of just claw back into those games. Took leads back in both of them, came up short in both of them. Last time out, Northwestern dropped their game at Michigan, 85-78. Got down early, 18-6 and 20-8. I believe they started 4 of 14 from the field. Another very slow start for them, but kind of turned it on for the rest of the first half. Actually took a 39-37 lead at the half. Robbie Barron was terrific with 16 points. His performance was a little bit hampered by the fact that he couldn't stay out of foul trouble in this game. That was the one complaint. Boo Buie was gritty, and at times, he was great, getting 22 points. Matt Nicholson, he was efficient on offense with 13 points, 5 of 5 from the field. He's still bad at the free throw line, 3 of 6. And you got to get more out of the 7-footer on the glass. He only had 5 rebounds for the game. Brooks Barnheiser was solid with 10 points. Chase Audige it was an off night for him. Shooting the basketball, especially on offense. He had just 8 points, but that came on 3 of 14 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3. But you know what? And this is something that I always say that I respect about guys who have off nights. Can you make your impact felt somewhere else? Can you show that you're out there giving consistent effort? And I think that he did that. I believe he had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 steals in the game. I want to say it might be second straight game with 5+ steals, because he may have either had 6 against Indiana or he had 6 against Rutgers. I forget which one. Michigan just went nuts from 3, 10 of 22 for the game. Shot well over 50% from the field. They just were red hot, and they kind of dominated the boards in the second half. Combine all of that and allowed them to come back from the 2-point halftime deficit and pull out the win over Northwestern. Northwestern fell to 3-3 in Big Ten play and 12-5 overall. Still don't think you can really say any of the losses are horrible right now. Some of them look better than we thought they were going to. I mean, Auburn being in the top 3 of the SEC, 2 conference losses to the number 2 and number 3 teams in the Big Ten. Those are fine. Ohio State, I know they're 2-4 in conference play, but I expect them to. I mean, they're a solid team, especially when they have an on night and they jump all over Northwestern like they did, getting up 34-8 in that game. Pitt started red hot in ACC play. Haven't exactly kept up with them the last couple times out. I know they started 4-0 in conference play. Northwestern has dropped to number 58 in the KenPom and number 59 in the net rankings. They could really, really use a bounce back week here. Northwestern leads the Big Ten in turnover margin with 4.9. That is good for 12th nationally right now. They are second in the Big Ten in scoring defense, allowing 60.8 points per game. That is good for 20th nationally. And then also they're second in turnovers forced per game, forcing 15.53 turnovers per game. That is second in the Big Ten. Boo Buie leads the Big Ten in free throw percentage coming into this one, 88.5% from the charity stripe. He's second in the Big Ten in field goal attempts with 240. He is fourth in assists with 73, and he leads Northwestern in field goals made with 86 of them and free throws made with 54 of them. Chase Audige leads the Big Ten in steals with 49 steals per game, 2.88. He is third in field goal attempts, just behind his teammate Boo Buie with 233. He is third in the Big Ten in free throw percentage. So you got 2 elite free throw shooters. Audige, 85.2% from the free throw line. So that's something that you want to continue to see these 2 guys do, is get to the free throw line, because they hit free throws at such a high percentage. That's a great way for Northwestern, especially on nights where one or both of these guys are having an inefficient night shooting the basketball. They can get to the free throw line and score some points that way and keep Northwestern in some games. Audige also leads Northwestern in 3-point field goals made with 38 this season. This Northwestern team, these 2 guys are the engine that kind of power everything, and you look to them for leadership. You look for them to carry a significant load, and they're going to have to tomorrow night on the road at Iowa. In just a second, we're going to take a look at Iowa, the Iowa side of things. But first, let's talk about our friends at Built Bar. Looking for a delicious treat, but don't want all of the fat and calories? You got to try Built Bar. We just got through the holidays, and I know my goal is to eat a little bit healthier this year. If you're like me and you want to eat healthier, but don't want to compromise taste, then man, you just have to try these Built Bars. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Seriously, they're so delicious. You won't think they're that good for you, but I promise you they are. They're perfect for your New Year's resolution. What makes them so good? Well, for starters, they're covered in 100% real chocolate. That's right, real chocolate. And they come in unbelievable flavors like churro, peanut butter brownie, coconut almond, and more. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars are like candy bars while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is that they are 100% healthy. Only 130 calories and 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't even have to wait around to get a box. For years, we've been talking about going to the website to order Built bars at built.com. Now you can go get them at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today, walk to the pharmacy section, and grab yourself a box of Built bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puffs. If you're in Sam's Club, run in and grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter, and churro. You can thank me later. You got to try these Built bars. I'm telling you, they're so good. Got a box in my pantry at all times. I love to kind of snack on them when I need a late night snack or or if I'm just maybe in between meals and feeling a little bit hungry, because I just know that they're healthy for me and they're so very good. So that's what I would say. Hey, go out there and try Built Bar. Also, thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, we're going to talk about the Iowa side of things. Iowa this year is 12-6, 4-3 in Big Ten play, coming off a 4-game winning streak, though. Things didn't maybe start the way that they expected, the way that they wanted in Big Ten play, but they've turned it around here recently. Last year in this meeting in Iowa City, Connor McCaffrey had a season-high 17 points with a career-high 5 threes against Northwestern. Iowa leads the Big Ten in scoring offense, scoring 82 points per game. That is good for 20th nationally. They've led the Big Ten in scoring 5 of the last 9 seasons, including the last 4. The guy to watch out for in this game is Chris Murray. He leads the team with 21.2 points per game and 9 rebounds flat per game, 9.0. He's been even better scoring the basketball in Big Ten play, scoring 23.7 points per game. And somehow, incredibly, he's been even better than that at home. He's been scoring 24.7 points per game in home games. So that's something to keep an eye on. Can Northwestern keep him below that home average? Can they keep him below that Big Ten average? Can they keep him below that 21.2 average that he has on the season? He has 4 30-point games this season, 2 in Big Ten play, one coming against Indiana and the other coming at Penn State. He's one of 5 players nationally with 4 30-point games, the only one that plays in a Power 5 conference. Philip Rebraca, he's another guy who to watch out for in this game. He has scored in double figures in 11 of 12 games. 15 plus points in 5 of the last 8. This season, he is averaging 13.8 points per game and 8.7 rebounds per game. This Iowa team, something you're going to notice that they get to the free throw line and then they also don't foul. They have made 69 more free throws than their opponents have attempted this season. Their opponents have attempted 220 free throws. Iowa has made 289 free throws. So they do a good job of getting to the line. They do a good job of limiting the opponent getting to the line. And once they get to the line, they do hit their free throws at a pretty good rate as well. They're third in the country in assist to turnover ratio at 1.7 as a team. 11th in the country in turnovers per game on the offensive end, only turning it over 10.1 times per game. We know that Northwestern likes to turn people over. They're very good at it, top 2 in the conference. This is a battle of a team that takes care of the basketball extremely well versus a team that turns teams over. And both these teams, to be honest, take care of the basketball pretty daggum well. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes out in this one. Iowa is 18th in assists per game with 17.1 nationally, and they're 20th nationally in fewest fouls per game. We talked about that a little bit earlier. They only foul 14.1 times per game. That's what limits those free throw attempts by their opponents. Can Northwestern figure out a way to kind of buck that trend and get to the free throw line the way that they probably will have to get a win in Iowa City? That's something I have my eye on. Series all time, Iowa has dominated this series 123-60. So they've doubled up Northwestern in wins in this series. They've won 15 of the last 18, including 8 in a row. Last year, they won 82-61 in Iowa City and 112-76 in Indianapolis. So they swept Northwestern last year going 2-0. They're 71-18 in Iowa City, and they are 31-4 in Carver Hawkeye Arena. That is, those 31 wins are the most Iowa has in their home arena over any opponent. This Iowa team, maybe at times has kind of slumped this year, but they're still number 32 in the KenPom, number 35 in the net rankings. They're obviously playing good ball right now. Dangerous offensive team that takes care of the basketball, on a little bit of a hot streak right here, 4 wins in a row. Can Northwestern bring that streak to an end? Is this Iowa team due for a rough night? And is Northwestern, are they ready for the challenge? In a second here, we're going to take a look at what Northwestern has to do to pull off this win. But first, thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For your second listen, check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Plus, hear from big name experts, coaches, and players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All right. What does Northwestern need to do to get this thing done? Well, first, we need to acknowledge that this is a huge opportunity for Northwestern. Massive. Coming off a tough week where you went 0-2, where you drop heartbreakers to Rutgers and Michigan. This is an opportunity to go on the road where you've had some success at certain points this year and get a big quad 1 win. Get back over 500 in Big Ten play. But what you cannot do, you cannot dig a big hole in this game, and you cannot do it early. You cannot start as slow as you have had a tendency to in some big games this year. Kind of with that, this team coming off this past week cannot lose that belief in itself, cannot lose that fight. Because what you've shown, even in 2 losses this past week, that it doesn't matter how bad things start. It doesn't matter how bad things look in the final 8.5 minutes. This team has shown the fight, has shown the ability to claw back into games. If you don't dig those holes and you do it for the full 40 minutes, you're going to get some wins in this conference. You really are. And in order to do that, you have to have smart possessions. You really do. You have to have good shots. No dumb turnovers. No dumb, quick, super long threes early in the shot clock. No running away from the basket runners, contested runners like we saw a couple times last time out. This team needs to get to the free throw line. I know this Iowa team does not foul a lot, 14.1 fouls per game. But Northwestern is at its best when it gets to the free throw line and shoots a whole bunch of free throws. They've had a game where they did a great job of it for 40 minutes against Illinois. They got 40 free throw attempts. In some other games, they've had one really good half. Against Indiana, I think they shot 26 free throws in the second half. I think he shot 24 free throws the other night in the second half. This team needs to get to the free throw line. Chase Audige needs to get back on track offensively. Rough time out last time, efficiency-wise. Love the effort, though. Love the way to impact the game, rebounding the ball, getting some assists, getting steals. If he can keep that up while being more efficient on offense, you've got your main engine driver, one of your 2 leaders on the team back in the form that you need him in to win some of these big-time Big Ten road games. Boo. Continue to be Boo, but be Boo smart. Make good decisions with the basketball. Don't take any stupid, difficult, unnecessary threes early in shot clocks. I like what you're doing right now when you go towards the basket. when you use your speed and athleticism to get to the rim and your ability to kind of contort your body to make really difficult shots. More of that, less of the wildly inefficient three-point shooting that we've seen this year. That's my opinion. I think that's necessary as we move forward this season. Can Ty Berry bounce back? Rough timeout last time. Not very involved. 0 for 3 from the field. Did hit his 3 free throws when he got fouled on a 3, though. Can he give you 8? Can he give you 10? That's all you need out of him. You don't need anything crazy, but can he give you that spark that we've seen at certain points? When momentum is leaking the other way, Ty Berry in certain spots has been really big, swinging it back in Northwestern's favor. Can he be that guy again? Can Matt Nicholson and Robbie Barron, can they continue to play well offensively? Very efficient for Nicholson last time out, 5 for 5 from the field. Can he get better at the line? He was 3 of 6. Can he rebound the ball better? Robbie Barron, can he give you another performance like last time out, but can he stay out of foul trouble? That's his weakness right now. I think he gets a little frustrated at times and has some fouls that I don't think are that necessary. Can Roper and Barnhizer, Julian Roper, Brooks Barnhizer, can they be productive? Can they give you 6 to 10 points each? And don't go crazy with bad shots like Julian Roper has a couple times. Can they make their free throws? Julian Roper sometimes struggles with that. He's hit some really tough shots this year, some high-level difficult shots. I would like it to be a little more consistent, though. Can this Northwestern team limit Chris Murray? I think they can. Can they limit Philip Rebraca? I think that they absolutely can. I think they have the ability to. The defense is good for Northwestern, but it's a challenge because Chris Murray's been so good. Rebraca's been so good recently. Can they turn Iowa over? A team that's pretty good at protecting the basketball. Can they? I think they lead the Big Ten in fewest turnovers per game. Northwestern second in the Big Ten in forcing turnovers. So a little bit of a immovable object meets unstoppable force here. Can Northwestern make Iowa uncomfortable in their home building? Can the defense get back on track? Can you force this Iowa team to struggle shooting the basketball more than Michigan did? Michigan had a pretty easy breezy time on the court shooting the ball last time out. A good shooting night really wouldn't hurt either. At times we've seen Northwestern go so stone cold. Shoot the ball pretty well. Be nice. Get to the free throw line. Turn over Iowa. Yeah. I mean, I think that Northwestern is every bit capable of going to Iowa City and pulling this upset. Because I think there's a toughness, a resilience with this Northwestern team this year. That's encouraging. So I think Northwestern might get this done. Sure, we will get a line tomorrow and make a pick on it in tomorrow's episode. That's going to do it for today's show. We really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every day. We really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Wherever you're listening, make sure you're subscribed and you turn on notifications. I'm your host, Carter Bird, and I'll see you all next time.